Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you by ShortTrackExclusives.com. I'm your host, Thomas Battis, alongside two other short track guys in the studio with us, Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07, Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman here, Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida, and Ted Baber, Ted Baber Video Productions, also here in Pensacola, Florida. And Ted, it's so glad to have you back in the studio. And what's up, guys?
Not a whole lot. Getting ready to do some short track talking.
I'm just glad not to have bronchitis and at least one functional eyeball.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a very special show. We have a special guest that we're going to bring on here in just a little bit. We've got a big announcement and some results that have happened here in the last week or so. We can start with Jim's sportsman progress, getting ready for opening right around the corner.
Yeah, March 18th will be our first race. We got the chassis off the jig and sitting on jack stands now, so that's a plus. This weekend I'll be bolting chassis parts after I go to the Five Flag swap meet. Hopefully find some stuff I need, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. And we're going to go from there. So we'll be ready to rock. I'm not worried about it. My motor should be back from the machine shop first of next week, and then we can start putting that in, and we'll have her ready. I'm excited. Let's get it on. I'm ready to go racing.
Yeah. What is this swap meet? What is that all about?
People bring stuff, parts, race cars, things like that. I got a friend that's bringing an old late model he wants to sell, and it's just an opportunity for people to sell parts and people to buy stuff. That's basically what it is. Pretty neat deal. They have it every year, so hopefully we'll maybe find some parts we need at a discount price.
You never know what's available.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, I think I understand you might need some parts.
I need a few, like a radiator, and I'm looking for a 9-inch rear end for that car, and a couple of the little odds and ends. Stuff's expensive, and you got to get it as cheap as you can get it, because budget racers don't have a whole lot of money.
If you can get an experience that's,
Experience, that's right.
Yeah, you got to get them in a hurry, because, the 18th of March is, it might seem like it's a little bit away, but it's right around the corner. It's going to hit you like quickly. So,
well, using the cage of the old car and the most of the body parts,
right,
and stuff like that saves us time and money. And I've got everything to bolt underneath there. I just need a radiator and a few other little odds and ends to put it together. And thank God for my crew chief, Martin. He's helping me out with that. And then 2 sponsors. And I picked up a new sponsor I want to announce tonight. Premier Window Tinting. Victor Herm, an old high school buddy of mine. He sponsors the 00 of Brandon Fowler. He's offered to come on board and help us out this year. So that's a cool announcement I can make. That'll help.
It does.
It costs money. How fast can you afford to go?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't believe me when I had a 7-year-old motor till they made me tear it down. That was always fun.
Well, it's going to hit you in a blink of an eye, and I'm sure you're going to get ready to go ahead and defend that championship, with maybe this last year and then maybe part-time after that, and then mentor some younger youthful kids to get in, and, who knows what happens after that. But, man, we've got some exciting news. This happened at Cordele, Georgia, at Chris Motorsports Park at Watermelon Capital Speedway, and one of our favorites, if not the favorite, and the only Bubba that we know in racing,
absolutely,
comes away 2 for 2 with the red eye 50 at New Smyrna, and then goes up there at 150 laps.
Spanks.
And took on Chandler Smith and Carson Hosevar for 1, 2, 3, and Bubba just took the trophy home.
Yeah, he did. That was an exciting finish. I'm telling you, man, to beat that Wilson Motorsports stuff is the best. And right now in super late model, they've got the best of the best. And he's going to run another race in South Florida. And this weekend at his racetrack that his family owns, they got a big dirt late model race. I think the next weekend he's going to South Florida to run a race.
That's
so,
right.
Good luck to him there. Maybe get 3 for 3. And he said he's going for the Southern Super Series Championship, which would be exciting to watch.
Right. Momentum does not hurt, and he's got it in spades right now.
Yeah, he does. And I'm glad to see it. He's been kind of out of the limelight for a little while. They keep saying he's only 6 months in between wins is not a lot, but for somebody like him though, that's a huge deficit, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we're used to hearing him win just about every week.
Yeah, he ran at the Derby. He said he didn't get the finish, the credit that they ran, because they ran in the top 3 for a while. So that was pretty good. We're glad to see it. Congratulations to him and Daniel Hind. Is it Daniel Hind?
Corey Hine.
No. He's a number 69.
Yeah,
Hind.
he won the pro late model.
Yeah, he won the
Oh.
pro late model at Cordele.
Yeah. Michael Hine.
Michael Hind.
Michael Hine, yeah.
And that flamed up number 69. That's just a cool paint job.
Yeah, it is.
Or wrap, because we don't paint them anymore. But not like back in the day when Done by Don came over and lettered your race car with by hand. That was neat to watch.
Ted's got a little bit longer list of some top fives and some notables on that list that was this weekend.
We already announced Bubba, the one and only, and then Chandler Smith was second, and Carson Josefar third. Jake Garcia finished fourth, Corey Hine fifth, and then after that, there's just a bunch of people that we're really familiar with, like Michael House seventh, Stephen Nassy eighth, William Sawalowicz came in ninth, and Michael Atwell in the top 10. And then Michael Hind just happened to finish 12th in the Supers as well. And the list goes on: Kyle McCallum, Daniel Dye, John Kaufman, Josh Berry, and Kyle Plott, all in the top 20. And then, as we mentioned, Michael Hind won the race, and Cole Williams and Dylan Fetcho and Cody Hall and Giovanni Ruggiero. I really hope I got that one right. That rounded up your top five. Yeah. And we have at least William Solowich is also 11th in that race as well. Got to get two at least semi-local names in here as well. Finishing 12th with Spencer Bragg and 14th with Madison Bragg. We are very familiar with both those names.
Yeah, Madison Bragg. Where'd I hear that from? Maybe a snowball derby queen this year in 2022?
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And then Christopher Tullis in the 18th. Derek Griffith, this is a little uncharacteristic for him, came in 19th. And, Stephen Nassie's 23rd. And Jordan McCallum finished 25th. Cody Coughlin 27th. And Kyle McCallum was 29th.
Well, wow. Cody Coughlin didn't run the super race because he got into it with somebody and he spun him out, I think, under caution or retaliated, right. And they parked him. So he put his super back in the trailer and left.
Took his ball and went home.
He took his ball and went home. He didn't want to play anymore.
That's it.
Yeah, somebody had to hand him a crying towel. I mean, he really has no room to talk. He's kind of rough. I mean, when he won that championship last year, in the late models for CRA, when he dumped somebody to win the championship, which, I mean, hey, it's part of it, I guess, but don't cry about getting dumped if you're going to dump people. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And if you do it, I've done it and I've gotten it back and I've given it back and I've taken it. So
karma's
it happens to you. I mean, if you did it intentionally is one thing, just hard racing's another.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Big time.
Yep.
Well, they also had a north-south modified shootout. Timmy Moore took that race. Buddy Gray second. Sam Begum third. Cody Stickler, we've heard this name before, fourth. And Thomas Mays rounded out the top five in that event as well.
Cool.
Yeah, not quite the ground pounders that we've mentioned before, but they're still modifieds, and they're still fast. One of my favorite classes.
Yeah, I like modifieds.
I do too.
I might get to drive one that buddy of mine's got that one car, and he doesn't want to drive it. He asked me if we rent the track for practice when I get my new car done. He said he'd bring it out and let me drive it. So who knows?
Got to mention Kevin Peel. It's also a name we've heard here locally. Finished top
He's
20.
He's from Fort Walton Beach. Yeah, he races op mainly. He ran the Derby too. So
big shout out to Bubba Pollard and his win. And I think there's some good things in 2022 coming from Bubba Pollard and that stable. With Port City race cars, I'm excited. I can't believe he's already won 2 this year. Had a chance to really good top 5, maybe a top 3 at the Derby, but ended up 13th. But I think he's taken a little break to kind of assess and make everything in a line. And he's got back in it, and it's starting to show. And it's really early this year.
Well, that and his family bought that racetrack back, which they built the original Sonoya Raceway. His granddaddy owned it. They bought it back and they've been working on that, so he's been really busy. What's cool is they've got a 2-seater dirt late model up there. I would love to climb that thing and let him run me around that place. That would be a blast, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
I've always wanted to. So there's a dude at Southern that has a 2-seated pure stock, but he parked it, and I'm like, dude. Just one more race and let me ride with you.
Right. Well, congratulations to Bubba and, the whole team. a lot of hard work pays off, and there's going to be some good things coming from that in 2022. And speaking of that,
season.
locally here at Five Flag Speedway, the big announcement yesterday was the SRX Series, which is a superstar racing experience that's coming to Five Flag Speedway on June 18th, which I think is probably outside of maybe the Derby economically, is probably one of the biggest things that's ever happened to this racetrack.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's their inaugural race too, so that's
the first. Season, the first of their season. Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting because they're big horsepower, little tires, and there's a lot of good drivers. So it's always a fun race to watch. And the Outlaw stocks will be running with them. So that was announced that they're going to be the support class.
Well, that's and we have some of those names that come along with that SRX series that was on CBS.
It's going to be on CBS this time too. So
Sure.
That's going to be pretty cool to see.
Tony Stewart, Marco Andretti, Paul Tracy, Michael Waltrip, Billy Elliott,
Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte, yeah. I mean, it's going to be big and it's huge and it's such a great announcement. And I don't even know really the details about tickets and if you can get in the pits or whatever. I don't know what's going to go on.
I'm pretty sure you can go in the pits if you want to. They have a reserve ticket thing where you go on the Five Flags website and you send a text message to a certain number. I don't know what it is. And they'll give you a number that'll reserve you a ticket. But I'm going to be in the pits. I want to see the cars up close. There's a couple of those drivers. I do not have autographs in my autograph book that I've had since I was 9 years old, like Bobby Labonte and a couple of them other guys. I would love to get them to autograph it, so I'm going to be in the pits.
Well, we can't wait to see that and hear about it and maybe even be there. And I'm sure one of our episodes is going to be all over it. So
definitely.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Outside the SRX, we got to kind of lay down an upcoming event this weekend with the Southwest, the SRL Tour out there, the Spears Tour with Derek Thorne, Jesse Love, Jeremy Doss out there in the Winter Showdown at Irwindale. We don't have too many specifics about that, but we will get to it next Wednesday with our next episode, 38. And we'll go over all of that. And so just stay tuned. All our listeners, we appreciate your support, and we've got more of that coming a little bit later. But and now I'd like to bring aboard our special guest, Cody Brousseau. She's a local outlaw and truck experienced racer here locally at Five Flag Speedway. Has a long lineage of racers in her family, and she's been on the phone with us. I know, Cody, you've been listening to what we've been going over, and we appreciate you taking the time out to be with us and tell us a little bit about where you come from with the racing and how you got it started.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. About me, I started in go-karts. Like you said, I mean, Dad raced around the South forever. He ran small pro stuff. So it's definitely in my blood. We started go-karts when I was like 3 or 4 years old. Took some time off, and then when I got back from college, we went late model racing in Monroe, Louisiana at Revolution Park. And my second year in a pro car, we won the state championship, the NASCAR state championship. He kicked the outlaw class off around here. He got the rules up and going for that. Timmy took the bait. We started the outlaw deal, and we won a championship the first year in that. And I've raced some trucks for Kurt Britt Motorsports, and we got an opportunity to race the year before last in Opp, Alabama. We won a championship there in that, and now we got a wheelman card, a little change of scenery, get to go down south and play some. So we're pretty excited.
Right, you're down at 417. Is that where you're headed?
For the 417 race got canceled. The frostbite got pushed back. They said it was too cold. So,
wow.
In Florida.
It got like 30 degrees there, and they chickened out, which is totally okay with me. We ran a wheelman race with Ricky Brooks. He took over the wheelman series this year, so we ran at Auburndale, and we took the car down to 417 a few weeks ago. That was my first time in that car, first time at a smaller track. Up here we have half miles and 3/8. So that was the smallest track I've ever been on. They've got little smaller motors in them. It's all stock front end stuff. So it was pretty cool, to have the opportunity to race with a different group of guys and gals. So that was pretty cool. We have Mike Garvey helping us with that Wheelman car, and he's doing a great job. He's a great guy to work with. I'm really fortunate to have him on my side.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool. Mike Garvey's a smart dude. I love that. That's cool. And the Wheelman cars, like I said, are different from the late models. If I'm correct, they're running like a stock steering box, stock drag link, idler arm, just basically like a Camaro front clip.
Yeah, so the car that I have is a Camaro front clip. You can run a 2x4 clip. Of course, they're all big spring stuff. They're allowing racks now, so it's not all just steering box stuff. But they have a cap, like a price cap on everything. So the rules, all the cars are so close because you can't get outpriced on, a $40,000 motor. It's a stock 602 with GM seals on it. They have a cap on the shocks that you get to run.
Deal.
You have to run a Wheelman shock, so everybody's on the same shock. Stuff like that. So it works out really cool. They have a great car count and a great group of people down there running that series. So we're really excited about that.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years. If you're going to have a series like that, why not make it spec shocks and where you can't get out dollared? Because as well as I do that short track racing has got to the point where, if you don't have a stack of money, it's hard to win. And it really is.
Yes, and that's, my dad started that outlaw class, and it was for the older late models and all. And I've said it a million times, it doesn't matter. We're still going to show up to race. So I guess it's like beating a dead horse pretty much, but it has outpriced itself. Shocks, motors, all that. So now they're full-blown late models now without bumps and with the outlaw body on them with 8-inch tire.
Yeah, I liked the idea originally of that class. I thought it was a great deal with the big springs and everything. And then, money always ruins everything. That they come in and, somebody's going to put a brand new chassis up against an old chassis and it's hard to beat it. I mean, you can drive and it's just like my old junk I've got, you wheel it hard enough. You get lucky and beat them.
Yeah. It is kind of funny because, even though some of these people that do race up here in these classes, you'll see them have all the money in the world and can't put down a lap. So then I'll jump in my 2001 Hamke and sit on the pole. So, at the end of the day, does it matter? Yes, because, if you have a long run or if they want to get a little sporty or if they feel a little froggy, they'll wreck your stuff and they can go get another one where I have to wait 6 weeks with a few paychecks to get mine fixed.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of these young kids are like that. Grandma and grandpa write that check and they just go, like you said, go get in the truck and go home and don't have to fix it. That's one of the reasons I had a lot of respect for Chase Elliott and people like you, because you work on your own stuff and you know what it takes to fix it if you tear it up.
Yes.
Your dad says get in the garage and fix it,
Yeah, it's hour for hour around our house. I've been fortunate enough to be able to drive his cars as well. I've been able to drive for other people. I've learned a lot, and even though driving for other people, I still had to be involved. I know what it costs if I tear it up. I know that I had to be at the shop to help, and I knew that I had to order parts to get it fixed. I didn't, I've never once just I wish it was that way, but I've never really ever got the opportunity to just arrive and drive and then go home.
Yeah.
But we've been fortunate, we've never really we've been really successful. We've had just family backing. It's never been big sponsors or daddy's money. My dad goes to work, he pays for all his own stuff. My money's tied up into his race cars. His money's tied up into my race cars. We've been really fortunate to be as successful as we are with the little that we have. Yeah,
that's cool. Your dad's one heck of a cabinet builder. I've heard lots of stories about his cabinet building prowess. But but you guys race on a budget, and that's awesome. Tell me about that NASCAR championship you won. That's got to be pretty neat. That's a pretty big feather in your cap.
Yeah, it is. So Revolution Park is in Louisiana. It's a dirt track now. They actually put dirt on it. It was a really cool little place. It was concrete, so it was like a baby Bristol. It was super high banked, really nice facility, really nice people that owned it. It was NASCAR sanctioned, so we were D1 in the pro car. And that was in 2014 is when I won that. And we got to go to North Carolina to the banquet and see all the things and stuff up there. So, I mean, it was pretty cool, especially just starting out. A couple times, actually, it's funny now because Mike helps me. But Mike Garvey and Chris Davidson came over, and they said that it was the hardest that they had raced on a track that size. So I got to get up there and race with them, right out of the gate, which was really, really cool. They ran twin 25s is what they did. So that was when I was first cutting teeth, and then they were still doing the 100-lap stuff here. So when we got done in 2014 and we came here, I was actually working out of town in Iowa at the time. And we raced one time here and did pretty well. And then they kind of went full time into the 100-lap stuff, but I still couldn't. I was working for one, so I didn't have time to test during the week. I was 1,800 miles away. And then you don't really learn anything when you're starting out at 100 laps. So Dad kind of pushed for the outlaw stuff, and it worked out, and we jumped into it, and we've been going ever since.
Cool.
Very, very well.
Yeah. What is your 2022 schedule look like?
So we had a little curveball. You might know last year I didn't really get to race a lot. Now in racing, if you're not driving your own equipment, it seems to be the issue. If you don't have a lot of money or a really bad sob story, you're not really going anywhere. Like I said, I do have family backing, and our plan changed, but we do have the Wheelman car, so we're going to run a little bit of that. And I actually got a phone call a couple of weeks ago that I'm really excited about. I didn't think I was going to get to race here at all this year, and I got the phone call. It's a really, really nice car. We're not ready to release that yet, but I'm super excited. This car is fast. It's won some races, and I'm really excited to be working with this group of guys.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can call us back one night when you get ready to announce it, and you can. And we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah, a little
sure.
bit of a follow-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely need to do a follow-up. It's unfortunate, but loyalty unfortunately has an expiration date, and just something you got to deal with and let it roll off your shoulder and move on.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. You race, and you're gonna run with a certain bunch, and then eventually it's gonna change. And you just got to move on and roll with the punches.
Yep.
Well, out of all the cars and classes that you've been involved with, even starting early on, what do you tend to lean to maybe put a favorite on?
Well, right now, I mean, I enjoyed the truck thing when I was doing that. They're fun. They're racy. The bumpers match up. You can actually get after it on that. Mm-hmm. The outlaw class is great. But I'll tell you, these Wheelman cars, they're so equal, and you get down there and they run side by side, and everybody, like I said, is just so equal on equipment that you can actually race. Now, if you get back there, just like if you get back here with squirrels, you just back there and
things
you
are
get
gonna go
wrecked.
nuts.
But when you're up front racing with these people that can actually wheel,
Yep.
it's really, really fun. Like, I had a blast at 417 in that little car. Like,
Right.
I honestly did. And even though they have those baby motors in them, I mean, you still get down. Like, it's crazy because down there they don't shift on restarts. So they start in fourth gear and they're like digging. And they throw the green, it sounds like we're going 900 miles an hour, and you're like looking around. We ain't going nowhere, but so too. But I mean, it's super racy. I mean, we had a blast.
Yeah, did you get to know Brooke Storer down there at 417?
Brooke Storer is my fiance, so yeah, I know her pretty good.
I would say.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Curveball.
Yeah. That's cool, though. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that Wheelman series is a really, really good idea, and I wish they would expand even a little bit further, but keep the rules the way they are. Because that's you can't continue to allow money ruining series. Because I mean, like super late models are great, but the problem is the cost of them so high. That's why the car counts are down. Nobody can afford to have one. Back in your dad's day, he built his own cars. Because I will never forget that beautiful Thunderbird that he built. Mm-hmm. That car was gorgeous. I remember when it debuted. I was just a kid in the pits walking around and walked by that thing and was like in awe.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad's stuff was always pretty clean and nice.
Yeah, but I mean, just like earlier y'all were talking about, like Cody Coughlin loading up and going home. That's what's wrong with super late model racing, is that somebody cashed a check for him to be from wherever he's from to Cordele, Georgia, okay, South Georgia, in 2 different classes. Probably, I would say that they got there on Thursday. No telling how many sets of tires he went through. He got mad. He loaded his stuff up and he left. But you know what? He can do that because it didn't cost him anything.
No.
True.
Not a dime.
No.
But that's throughout the field. Now, super late model racing is not like it was when Dad was doing it. All those guys worked Monday through Friday. Not saying that there's some guys that aren't competitive that, you know, they still work Monday through Friday and they can be competitive on Saturday. Colin Allman from South Florida, that kid can wheel. It's just him and his dad. They have like a 2005 left-hander.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like
and they're competitive everywhere they go. But that's what I'm saying. So if you're running supers now, that's what you're doing for a living.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you got somebody that pays for everything and you get to drive. It's, you know, like you said, it's not like, you know, you had to build the car. That's something that Gary Ballou talked about in an interview that I heard. He said they used to pull the steel off the rack, bend everything, make their own spindles, make this, and built all that. And you had more of appreciation for your race car. You didn't go out there and run over. There was respect for each other. You didn't go out there and run over each other. You raced each other. I mean, you swapped paint, you swapped tire marks, you did all that stuff, but you had respect for each other. And I deal with the same thing even in the sportsman class because I'm the old guy now. But there's a couple of young guys in that class that just don't care. They'll just run in their door, slam you, wreck you, and then, you know, Daddy will write a check and fix the car, and you're stuck, you know, with no budget trying to figure out how you're going to get back out on the racetrack. You know?
Yeah.
There's
I
no
mean,
respect.
I can't even say anything because I've been called, you know, I've always said, or people have said that I was spoiled and that this, that, and other, but they didn't understand that if I put a mark on that 7 Outlaw car, when I got home, even though I was 22, 23 years old, it was on like Donkey Kong. Like I was in trouble. So I've always, you know, tried to shy away from that. Now I won't get run over. I'm not going to let anybody push me around. I'll handle my own and I'll take care of them. But I know that at the end of the day, I race how I want to be raced, and
that's a race car driver right there.
The whole sport is changing.
It is
a lot.
It is, and it's sad because I didn't get to race till I was in my 20s on dirt, and I started on asphalt when I was like 24, 25. But you know, these young, like I said, these young kids nowadays, they just don't care. They'll run you, slap over, tear your stuff. Even on dirt, they just door slam people and tear people's stuff up. And then, you know, their parents won't let them get a butt chewing from the driver's seat. I'm a firm believer the drivers need to talk, not the pit crews, not the moms and dads, but the two drivers should stand there and talk to one another. If you got a dog cuss each other, get it over with. You ain't got to throw punches at one another, but you can discuss the situation and, you know, let each other know, hey, next time you do this, this is what's going to happen to you. You know, I mean, that's the best way I can do it. I believe stay in your pit area. If they come down there and want to talk, then we'll talk.
Yeah. Well, talking is all it is. I mean, you don't go down there and just start, you know, throwing punches and everything. No. That just, it kind of puts a tarnish on it. But I mean, there are some fans that like seeing that, but, you know, it's a catch-22 situation, but go
to a race and a hockey game breaks out.
Well, back in the day, though, if the two guys got in a fight, the next week they were drinking a beer and shaking hands.
Yeah.
You know, it was over with. Okay,
kids aren't legal to drink beer.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they might be doing it when their parents are asleep or whatever, but I mean, if you're 14, they can't go have a beer. You know,
but they should be able to.
You can't go knock a 14-year-old out.
No, you can't. That's for sure.
And they don't know how to talk, and a lot of this is they sit in front of those those computer screens, and iRacing has a reset button. So
exactly.
that's also a problem.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct about
It's
that.
like regenerating in Halo. That just doesn't happen.
No.
It's just not that easy.
No.
I mean, and it's cool, and it's. I'm glad we got a hold of you, and we're going to talk to you because you're a racer, and I know that you and I've had disagreements on Facebook about things, but you know what? We're both racers, and we both understand what it takes to get the job done, and and to fix the car and to do all the other stuff, and I respect you for that.
Right.
Yes.
So, Cody, do we expect you this March? Kind of kick off the season in 2022 with that Outlaw or the truck, or
Nope, no more trucks.
nope?
It'll be in a completely different Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about it. I never thought that I'd get that phone call, and I did. So I pretty much
Good to
thought
hear.
I was going to run my wheelman car with Mike and then retire. But it's looking. I'm really excited.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Very glad.
we're excited for you, and we can't wait. I know you got to hold back on a little bit. Those announcements are kind of under the rug right now, but you know what's going on, and we're anxious to hear what's happening to you in the future, and we look forward to it. And we really appreciate you taking the time out to spend some time with us, about your racing experience, and we look to following up. And guys,
Very appreciative.
is anything you'd like to say to people that help you, give you a shout out with sponsors throughout the way, not just what's coming up, but I mean everything in the past?
Oh yeah, Parks and Lawn Construction. If it wasn't for Ronnie and Scott, I wouldn't be doing anything that I'm doing. My mom and dad for always having my back, no matter what. Even if I made bad decisions and bad judgment, you know what? They're still there. We still have Dad's car. We're working on getting it fixed as well. We'll probably take it to Cordeal and go wax some tail over there, hopefully.
Right on.
Mobile's kicking off. They've got a full season. Gina over there is doing great things with Mobile. We're really excited to see that kick off. She's actually bringing the wheelman cars to Mobile, or the same rules. They call them sportsmen in Central Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But I call them wheelman cars because that's, that just is what it is. But they're bringing those cars over, so we'll get to run my car and Brooke's car at Mobile some. We're looking forward to that and just everything they have going on over there. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
That's the question I had for you. I remember in an interview one time that you said you wanted to win a championship at Mobile. Do you see that happening this year, maybe?
It just depends. I work a lot. We've got a lot going on, especially with the stuff in South Florida. We're going to race as much as we can down there for the most part. They have one of those races coming to op, so we're focused on getting the thing ready for that. I would love to win a championship at Mobile. I just don't know what I'm going to get to do it in.
Okay.
This stuff is very expensive with everything going on in the economy and just everything that's going on. You never know. So we're going to take it one race at a time because you never know when your next one is, especially with how things are going. And we'll just do it as long as we can, and then when we can't, I'll sell it all and buy a boat.
Let's go, Brandon.
Catch me at the Floribama.
I hear you.
Yeah, well, that sounds good, and we look forward to hearing that follow up and seeing and just kind of follow your progress throughout the year and see what you got going on. And again, we just appreciate you taking the time out to spend some time with us, and we'll follow up with you and the guys in the studio. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And that is Cody Brusso, locally here at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. She's got a lot going on. She can't really announce right now, but we're going to keep up with that. And hopefully in the next little bit, we'll find out what's going on with her. And guys, it's always been a pleasure. Every Wednesday you get down and lay down another episode and talk short track racing like we're all are fans of.
Oh, heck yeah. That's why we do this, man. We're all short track guys and gals and everything else. We love doing this. It's what it's all about.
Yeah. Cody, thank you so much. We will certainly follow up with you shortly. Thanks for taking time out, and have a great night, and we'll talk at everybody in a little bit.
We'll talk to you later. Let's go, Brandon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right.